In this discussion, we will discuss the discussion question of compare general purpose governments and special purpose governments. When we see a discussion question like this or an essay question like this, our goal oftentimes is to expand on the answer, that being more likely to for us to touch on the answer being looked for an essay question, and to be able to contribute new information to a discussion for a discussion question. That in mind, let's take a look at this one more time. Compare general purpose governments and special purpose governments. Whenever we see a discussion question that has two terms and the comparison of those two terms, our first step generally is to define the terms and then look at the differences between those two terms. And that's usually a good way to go. That's a good place to start because that's what's most likely to be looked at for essay questions. If we want to add to that, however, and if we're looking for more information to discussion questions, we might also want to look at those things that are going to be similar. And to think about that, you may want to take a step back and say, what is the big picture that these two things relate to? We're talking about, in essence, governmental accounting. We can then compare and contrast the governmental accounting compared to for-profit accounting. We can compare governmental accounting and the things that differ from other non-profit type of organizations versus governmental type of organizations. And then we could step into the specifics in terms of governmental type of organizations, in this case being the general purpose governments and the special purpose type governments. And the difference between those two, we can think that the general purpose governments usually provide a wide variety of services, while special purpose governments usually provide only one or a very select kind of activities and services. General purpose governments would include states, counties, municipalities, and townships. Examples of special purpose governments would be organizations set up for a specific purpose, such as some type of utility or some type of water maintenance. We could have education as a specific purpose. Colleges and universities could be a specific purpose for a specialized governmental. So we're going to have a specific item that we're going to be looking into, and this organization is going to be specialized within that one thing, that one goal, that one objective, as opposed to the general purpose governments, which have a lot of services that they are accountable for. From this point forward, we can continue on with discussion by giving specifics in terms of what the needs would be, what the differences would be in actual accounting for different types of entities for the general purpose type governments and special purpose. We can give examples and compare and contrast those examples.